Kel, frustrating today. Why do you feel the team wasn't able to be at its best today?
Well, I think we started the game and we never get grip of the game because we were so inconsistent with the ball. And we started to give so many balls away, so we never got enough sequence of positive actions one after the other that could generate threat, momentum, win the territory and the areas that we want to conquer. And that allowed that the game was always a flick of a coin, and they were very direct with the play. That team, when you allow them to run, especially with very simple giveaways, it's a dangerous team, and without really creating much. And the chance that they have, they put the ball in the box, they have the quality individually to deliver those moments. And after that becomes a difficult game, a more difficult game. We made some changes, we tried to generate some momentum, and we would look like we could get that. Then we get the red card as well, with another big mountain to climb. We tried to react to that with some of the adjustments, and we generated with a lot of energy, putting a lot of emotion, effort into it, but without really specific quality moments to unlock their back.
Yeah. Why did you feel that they struggled with the decision-making today? Was it nerves at times?
I don't know. It's the general play from the beginning wasn't there. But after there were moments that we got a bit more of flow and credit to Westham as well. The way they set out, they were really aggressive in their duels. Those 50-50 balls, they got away with it a lot of time. And yeah, when you are not at your best there, you have to be at your best in many other areas. And today wasn't the case.
Yeah, you mentioned West Ham being good on duels. They had a game plan. They were defending their box really well. But do you feel like it was also about not being able to create these connections, especially in that final third?
Yeah, because the moment we got into the areas that then you have to unlock something, we didn't, basically. But it's down to me as well. So this is my responsibility, and I don't want to take that into the players. But today we weren't at the level required to convincingly be better in the position for long periods of the game.
How did you feel about the red card?
I don't know. I haven't seen the replay. I don't want to see it. It's done. The decision was made. Let's move on.
And finally, of course, there are still 12 games to be played, but it feels like a big blow in the title race, regardless of what happens tomorrow. How do you see it?
Yeah, because we've been very consistent. I think 15, 16 games in the Premier League without a defeat, winning in a convincing way. And today at home, when you have the opportunity now to generate again that momentum, you don't do it. So it is painful, but this is a sport. Tomorrow is another day. We're still in February. There's a lot to play for, and we need to feel the pain today. I think we deserve that. Yeah, very disappointed. Obviously very angry as well. I think you have to congratulate West Ham for the victory and the game that they played, but as well I think a lot from our side that we never got right and didn't allow us to get enough momentum, enough sequence of play with positive action that could deliver into situations of threat for there. And even though all the ball that we had and 20 shots of that, I never felt that we were at the standards and the level that we needed. First of all, to have more threat, and then don't to allow them to run, because we lost a lot of balls that we allowed West Ham to run in very dangerous positions.
So when you say anger, it's anger at yourself?
Yeah. We have to be. I hope we are very much, because we didn't hit the levels today, and I am very much responsible of that. So I am very, very, very angry.
Sam, take off.
I think people look at the forwards and the injuries and think, oh, that must be why.
No.
Is that it?
No, and I refuse that completely, because I'm talking about the standards of the players and the team that we played today, me included, and that wasn't nowhere near the levels that we have to hit to have the opportunity to win a Premier League. Today, no. We were very consistent, yes, but football is about what you do today, and today, nowhere near.
Just on Ethan, he seemed to be sort of limping a bit when he came off. Is he injured?
No, hopefully not. It was just fatigue, I think.
Tom Football. Sorry, James. Tom Football.
Hi, Miguel. I know you mentioned that you're not happy, with the level. You were very vocal, in the January window about you felt you were short, and Moreno's up front today. Do you feel like the fact that there was a struggle to score vindicates in some way why you were so vocal about wanting a second?
No. Honestly, again, it's. I think we have to look in the mirror of ourselves, of what we can do better, what we've done that, and the will and the desire and the way we run and the way we want it. Zero question about that. But at that level, this is not enough. You have to deliver, and it has to be with a lot of quality to break a really good team down, to win many more duels than we have done, and to put actions that can end up in really threatening moment for the position to win the games. And today we haven't done that.
What do you have to do?
United. And indeed, Liverpool fans will like that sight as well. 12 games for Liverpool and Arsenal to play each. 36 points to play for, and 8 points the difference. And Liverpool, of course, are at the Etihad to face Manchester City tomorrow, which, of course, we will bring you on Matchday Live. But you said earlier, Righty, you weren't feeling it. They only had 2 efforts on target in the whole game today, Arsenal.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough one with the forwards missing. You know, where you're hanging in there, whether it's going to be set pieces, whether it's you need something to happen special from somebody. Ethan, you saw. Thought Scarles had a really good game against him today. He came off today. You know, not enough creativity. You know, we didn't do enough. I thought West Ham, you have to give them credit for the defending they done, but you just felt like as the game was going for me, Steve, I just felt like more and more I can't see where we're going to get the goal from. You saw at the end there, trying to lump it in with crosses, and you got Mavropanos, you got Kilman, you got big guys in there, Souček clearing it. It seemed like we completely run out of ideas in this moment.
Yeah, and as Righty said, that you could feel the anxiety in the stadium, the supporters. They knew the enormity of today.
You could, and look, West Ham didn't come there to entertain. They sat in, they got something on the break. I thought Arsenal was a little bit impatient. When there's so many bodies in the middle of the goal, you need to get down the end line, get crosses in so that they have to head it out for corners and give away set pieces. What Arsenal did was they came back in the field, they hit in-swingers, and the West Ham defenders were just allowed to edge players out, and therefore they couldn't really get to their set pieces, which is their strength.
Is that understandable, given the stage of the season we're at, given the injuries, given that Liverpool are playing tomorrow and they had the opportunity to reduce it to 5?
You could say that, but you know, you're going for a title. Liverpool have stumbled in the last few weeks or couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, I know you've got injuries, but you're at home. You know, you've still got a good team out there. You know, you recognise every single one of those Arsenal players when the team sheets come in. You'd still think they would find a way of beating West Ham, but really, truthfully, goalkeeper hardly got work today. You know, it wasn't as if Arsenal missed loads of chances and deserved to win. I think we could still be playing now, and Arsenal wouldn't have scored. So, yeah, disappointing for the Arsenal fans. And now they're going to have to ask for a lot of help from other teams.
I think you look at Liverpool as well. People saying about Arsenal having to win this to keep the pressure on Liverpool winning games and keeping pressure on an Arsenal team who haven't got the firepower to try and stay with them. Because look at that game today, guys. If they scored 2 West Ham, you think, where are we going to get 3 goals from? So those are the things that you're thinking about going into it. That's why probably I was a little bit down today, because I'm thinking, where's it going to come from if we go behind?
Yeah.
And it's exactly what's happening.
That's a good point. I mean, they've stumbled a little bit in drawing games, but as we stand here now, Liverpool have still only lost 1 of 26 Premier League games. That's the standard.
Oh, absolutely. They've been absolutely brilliant this season. No one can deny that Liverpool, you know, deserve to be at the top of the table. However, we're looking, you know, at the running and thinking, can Arsenal do it? Now, I mean, you do the maths. Liverpool have got to get 29 points out of 36. It's not a banker still. It's not a banker. 29 out of 36 is some good, but that's assuming Arsenal winner, and that's probably the hard thing, because, you know, as Righty said, they're struggling for firepower. But they've got to aim to do that now, because anything less than that, you'd think Liverpool will do it.
And you were disappointed with the goal conceded today, because it was actually Arsenal had it on the edge of West Ham's penalty area.
Again, we were going for it. We was pushing hard, and you look where we are on the edge of the box. You see, Bowen's the one who started it, and I think that you've got to watch him. You've got to keep your eye on Bowen. I think that right there you could see midfielders. There he is. He's looking behind him there, Declan. You can see him. Now he's either got to pass him on or someone's got to stay with him. You have to give the cross a lot of credit. It's a great cross into a very dangerous area. It looks like it's coming pretty low for me, guys. I don't know what you think, but at the same time, Declan and I think Gabriel Magalhaes at the front, it feels like it's not a high one that they can't reach. It looks like, you know, both of them are not off the ground trying to get it. You look at Gabriel, he's almost like he bends down. Look, I'm thinking, can you go on ahead? I don't know what's happened there. But again, Wan-Bissaka's taken that a long way with Calafiori to get that crossing. And, you know, Bowen's gone in there unchallenged, and you get punished. You get punished.
Has Rice got a point there?
Yeah, Declan Rice tracks the run. He checks his shoulder a bunch. He knows he's there. In the end, I do think Gabriel, for not having any players really in and around him, gets himself too far outside of that near post. But Declan Rice, as Michael said at halftime, he's afraid here.
Own goal?
Yeah, he's afraid to get an own goal once he doesn't really quite square his shoulders up. And in the end, still a really good ball in from Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, and maybe Gabriel should have taken Rice as they're running into the box. When you look at it, it's only 2 against 5, and there's a couple of runners coming in behind for West Ham. And I actually think to myself, hang on, Declan should be passing him on straight away and just stopping. But because the danger ball in many ways was the cutback there, and because Declan had gone in with them, there was almost 2v1, and there was a danger of a cutback. So possibly there could have been a bit more communication early on. But once the cross came in, I agree with the guys. Both players possibly, arguably, could have got their head on the ball. Gabriel does duck a little bit. Declan Rice is scared of heading it towards his own goal. And all of a sudden, both of them miss it, and Jarrod Bowen scores.
Now, we ended our first main game with a lot of VAR discussion. In terms of Miles Lewis-Skelly, is this good VAR use? Yellow on field, and then have a look at this. You might want to change it.
Yeah, I mean, you think, it's denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. He gets himself in a bit of a bother here. That first touch, and then at this point, you can see going back to his own goal there, but he pulls him down. The goalkeeper is advanced, and I think that's what happened. If the goalkeeper is in his own box, there's still a defender who's got 50 yards to try and catch him. You might not get that, but in terms of the on-field decision, I think he's probably thinking, yeah, it is yellow. And then when you go back and look at the proximity of defenders and where the goalkeeper is, it is denial of a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. The process is good. It's the referee's decision at the end of the day, but the VAR were right to say, hang on a minute, just go and check it again. He has checked it again, changed the colour with his card. And I agree. I mean, in many ways, he had an open goal to aim at. Yes, he's 50 yards away from the goal, but the goalkeeper's third out himself. So it is the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, and I therefore think it was the right decision to have a red.
You can't argue with that. I think the way that where Arsenal were playing in that particular moment, that's got to be quicker. It's got to be bam into him. He's got to turn quick. He's either got to give it to Trossard. He's got to put it back in there very quickly. You look at it, when the ball comes to him here, his first initial reaction before that was, can I give it to Trossard? Then he turned, but then you have to give credit to the forward, kudos, because he's reading it properly. And look, he's in. He's in. And that, again, is what Miles Lewis-Skelly will learn, is that the level of the players and what they're waiting for and the opportunities that they're waiting for, because you've got Kudos and you've got Bowen, and they're just chasing all day. So these are the opportunities that they're sniffing out, and he sniffed that one out, and unfortunately Miles got caught on it.
OK, defeat for Arsenal. Let's get some immediate reaction. Here is the captain, Martin Ødegaard.
Well, Martin, how tough is that loss for you and the team and the title as well?
Yeah, big blow. I think the performance today wasn't good enough, and really disappointed.
Why do you think you struggled?
I don't know, to be fair. It's hard to say. I think we let them run too easy a few times on the counters. We weren't sharp enough to create things in the box. I think we lacked a little bit on the final pass, the final cross, the final third efficiency. We have to see the game back and analyse it, but it wasn't good enough.
Does that come down to the fact that you are struggling with players fit up front?
Obviously, we're missing players, but we have to focus on the players that are here, that are available, and I think we have more than enough quality to do more than what we did today. So I think that should be our focus on solving that.
And so you went in at the break a goal down. What was the big message?
No, we have to keep going. We had to believe that we were going to turn it around. I think we tried, but as I said, he wasn't good enough in front of the goal, and then we let them run a few times too easily. Obviously, with a red card, it's tricky as well, but we tried until the end, but today wasn't good enough.
Yeah, what did you make of that red card?
I don't know. I haven't seen it again. I don't know.
And finally, then, how do you regroup? How do you guys kind of go on from here and keep that title alive?
Yeah, we have to keep going. Still a long way to go. Still many points to play for. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We have to make sure we learn from this and strike back in the next one.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very honest, and not feel sorry for themselves. I mean, is that easier said than done with the players unavailable at the moment?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you've got to recognise the situation you're in. It's even the question she's asking about keep that. What does she expect the captain of Arsenal to honestly say there? You have to keep going. You have to hope that you can that Liverpool drop points now. This is what you have to hope. But at the same time, you've got to pick yourselves up. And as the captain, I thought he was right there. We weren't good enough in certain situations in that game, and we didn't create enough chances to win the game. We don't deserve to win the game. So, they'll go again. And this is what I like about our manager, is that he will be honest about it. He will say what's wrong and what we need to do, but he needs help. He needs help. He needed help.
And Forest away next for Arsenal, Tim. Yeah.
Not easy. But, this whole concept of needing Liverpool to do something, it's not about that. Your levels have to be high. You have to win at home. You have to beat West Ham at home. If that doesn't happen, there's not a lot of hope that you can have for Liverpool. It's about you.
So take us inside. You're a current Liverpool player in the team hotel. See that result come in today before you go to the Etihad tomorrow. They haven't scored at Newcastle.
The old celebration would go out now. You would be excited, obviously. Yeah. You'd be delighted. I mean, it means you can have another big slip up yourself. Not that you're aiming for that, but it just gives you a real cushion. You go into a tough place tomorrow, and worst case scenario, you get beat. No damage done. In fact, it's another game ticked off this weekend. So it's a positive. If you say to Liverpool at the start of this weekend, you're both going to, drop the same amount of points this weekend, they'd probably have taken it. Yeah. It's another game off. Liverpool have had the harder game. You'd definitely take it.
OK. Well, last thing Righty wants to do straight away after an Arsenal defeat
is on the bench, the 17-year-old this evening. But what we need to talk to Merce about now is what happened at the Emirates today. Arsenal's unbeaten record in the Premier League at home has gone. West Ham doing what they did last season and winning at the Emirates. Last season 2-0, this season 1-0. Jared Bowen with his 50th Premier League goal for the Hammers this afternoon. And only 2 shots on target from Arsenal in that game, the fewest they've had in the Premier League at home so far this season. And we wondered about those injuries, the key injuries to the likes of Havertz as well, whether they had found a new striker last week against Leicester City. I think we found out the answer this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, they were fortunate last week, let's be honest. It was 0-0. They made Leicester look half-decent last week, and Mourinho comes on and scores 2 very good goals. A hard position to play centre-forward. There's not a lot of top centre-forwards around. It's a difficult position to play. And to just throw people up there and expect they're going to do the magic, especially when they've never played there, for me, is mind-blowing, really. Absolutely mind-blowing. He looked like a fish up a tree, if I'm being honest. I don't mean disrespectful to him. He's a holding midfield player. It's like me going and playing at centre-half. I mean, you just don't do that. It's like Clinton going to play right back. You know what I mean? You just can't do that. So, yeah, I worry for Arsenal now. I worry for them now. I mean,
listen, for you, you said it. You're talking about Liverpool booking team buses and all that for the open top parade. You think the title race is over? Worry about them beyond that.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. There's no way Arsenal can catch Liverpool. They've got no forward. They've got a young 17-year-old who's going to have a bright future, amazing player.
How did Ranieri look today?
No, he struggled, but he's 17 years of age. He's going to be like that for
you can't ask a 17-year-old to be the answer,
can you? All the time. Yeah. But he will be going like that, and when it gets like that, it's hard for a 17-year-old to come back like. So that's hard. Trossard's he's a bit part player in my opinion. I think if everybody's fit, he's one of them you want to come on with 30 minutes to go if you need him. I think he's that kind of player. But he's got to play every game now. And then they've got no centre-forward. There's absolutely no chance. I mean, even if Liverpool got beat 7-0 tomorrow, they still can't win the league. They can't. Not with. I see enough today to know that they are going to struggle to the end of the season. And how many games have they got left?
Well, they've got Nottingham Forest away next, 12 next to come, Man United away, then 12, Chelsea at home. So 12 total they've got
12
left.
Total games. They do well to win half.
Really?
They've got nothing going forward. Absolutely nothing going forward. I don't mean... it's going to be so easy for teams to defend. I mean, they just played against the West Ham team that, let's be honest, they're not, unbelievable at the back. It's not like we're sitting there and we're going, it's Van Dijk and who else, at the back. They're just a solid outfit. They were comfortable. What's the name? Areola made one save with his feet that I would have saved. I mean, this is Arsenal at home who haven't lost a game at home this season. They haven't got any forwards. They've got absolutely no chance. All of a sudden now, the PSV game has become a heads or tails game. Heads or tails game when, let's be honest, if Martinelli, Saka and Havertz were fit, you're looking at that game and going, well, that's a shoo-in. They're through to the quarter-final. Now, I honestly, I don't see it now. Who they got next? Forest?
They have.
Yeah, they won't beat Forest.
Midweek,
They won't beat
away
Forest.
at Nottingham Forest.
They won't beat Forest.
Wednesday. No, if they only win in 6 out of 12 games, they won't finish second.
Yeah, I ain't sure. I don't know if they will finish second. I think they've just got to come in the top 4, haven't they? I mean, at the end of the day, they got to get. I don't see.
So for you, the season's objectives have changed that dramatically with the injuries, the players they're missing. Well, it's now about just making sure they finish in the top 4 title race for you. Gone.
Simon, what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, completely and utterly gone. They've played West Ham, who are about 6th bottom. They got destroyed by Brentford last week, and then they played Leicester, who I mean. I want to be horrible here, but we probably get a team together here that are going to give them a game. And you know what I mean? And keep it tight for an hour or so. Sure. Do you know what I mean? And then they'd end up destroying us. But it's not like they've just played like Liverpool away and like who else? And someone like, I'm thinking of top teams now. I mean,
have you seen some of the players in here, Merce? I mean, that's a big claim that we give them a game right now. They're not. I mean, they're bad, but they're not that bad.
For a while. We keep not Arsenal. We wouldn't. I'm saying about they made Leicester look very comfortable, and Leicester can't win a game, can't score a goal. I've seen enough over the last 2 games that they haven't made any chances. Yeah. Mourinho come on, scored 2. I think before that, I don't think they had a chance against Leicester, or probably had a couple of half chances. So that's 2 games against, no disrespect, 2 pretty average teams, and they've failed to do anything.
And listen, their third from last game is that game at Anfield away to Liverpool. And from a drama point of view, every neutral hoping there's still something riding on it. From everything you're saying, you think that's absolutely very unlikely.
No chance. They go to Man United in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
That'll be heads or tails. That'll be heads or tails game.
Even against that United
I'm telling you, they've got nothing up front. It's absolutely toothless up front. Toothless. Like they've got no centre forward. Centre forward is such a hard position to play. It's such. Clinton will tell you, it's such an art, isn't it? You can't just go and throw someone up there and go and do that.
It's an art.
It's an art.
It is.
Look at your face.
You know,
you love that, don't you?
Yeah, for me, I don't see them beating Forest. I'd be shocked if they beat Nottingham Forest. I honestly would be absolutely flabbergasted.
Anyone here does not think the title race is now over after this afternoon?
I thought it was over. I said to you last week, Merck, I was doing the EFL zone and I left and I was like, they've got no chance of winning. They've lost 4 main attacking players and then you're left with 3.
Yeah.
What do you do? It's like we talk about Manchester City defensively. You can't go away to a Real Madrid and expect to win football match if you can't defend. Other end of the spectrum is Arsenal, like Mercy's saying. I'm with him. If you can't score goals and you don't create chances, you've got no chance.
And you can't keep going through transfer windows and not bring in a striker that everyone's been crying out for.
Exactly.
After the couple of draws they had in 3 games, Liverpool, I thought the door was ajar. But they had to win today.
Yeah.
And then Man City had to win tomorrow in the Super Sunday game. That then kicks it wide open. Then you think, hold on a minute, there might be a title race. Now, when they've tripped up now at home, so I always said it, difficult. They've got home games, but they've got home games against teams from London who want to spoil the party, and West Ham have done that. Chelsea have got to go there, Fulham have got to go there. They haven't got an easy game with the team, what they have at their disposal at the moment.
Martin, they had a clear game plan. They defended their box really well throughout the match, but why was it so hard today?
I don't think we played on our level. I don't think the performance from us was good enough. Struggled to really break through and to create the big chances that we normally create. So, we lacked a little bit efficiency there, especially in the final third, final pass, the cross, arriving in the box, and then I think we let them run a bit too easy a few times, especially in the second half, wasn't good enough.
Why do you feel there was at times this lack of composure in these decisions?
I don't know. I think we have to analyse the game. We have to look at the game back. But it's for sure we weren't good enough today, and we have to find solutions to that and make sure we improve. And it's a new game coming soon, so we have to make sure we are ready and strike back straight away.
Of course, there are injury problems, important injury problems. But how do you make sure you find the right connections? Was it about finding the right connections today?
Yeah, I think we have to focus on the players that are available, So I think we have enough quality to do more than what we did today. And as I said, I think we lack that quality, efficiency, especially in the final third around the box. We have to be sharper and better there and make sure we create more and score the goals that we need. And also the goal we concede is too easy. So there's a few things we can work on.
How do you come up with these solutions quickly? Because there are 12 games to play still, but you still are going to miss those players. And as you mentioned, you need to focus on the players you do have available.
Yeah, it's no time to feel sorry for ourselves. We just have to make sure that we improve. As I said, we have a new game in a short time, and yeah, we're going to be ready and we're going to strike back. And that's the main thing now, to move on to that and make sure we do better.
And there are still a lot of games to be played, but it feels like a major blow to the title race. How does it feel for you guys?
Yeah, we lost today and we're obviously really disappointed. But yeah, it's a long way to go. We have to look at the next game now, make sure we win that, and then work from there.
Yeah, you can see it in his face, Mercy. He knows the significance of that defeat today. And Natalie Gedger asking about solutions. If you're looking in the final third for solutions, well, we were saying it right from the off today. The cupboard's looking bare.
Yeah, I would have played. It's easy saying it after. I didn't get the Mourinho one playing.
Well, you said this morning when we came to the office, I'll be amazed if he starts with him.
Yeah, I was. He's not a centre forward. You play Sterling up there. Sterling's got a bit about him. I know he ain't set the world alight at Arsenal, but he's got that thing about him. Kilman won't want to play against someone like Sterling, one who can get a goal and who's got a lot of pace. Mourinho's scored 2 goals probably in his whole life, and he's playing up front for Arsenal Football Club. I mean, how's that roll off your tongue? I mean, Arsenal Football Club, he's centre forward.
I mean, Havertz missing, Martinelli missing, Saka as well.
Yeah, that's enough.
The next high scorers, you're looking at Trossard with 4. I mean, the cupboard is really bare in terms of alternatives when those kind of players are missing.
Yeah, and there's nothing. I mean, Sterling's the one to come in. That's it. There's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, it's.
But he hasn't scored.
I know we can say. Yeah, I'm not having to go at Arteta and going, I should have bought a centre forward, because no one could see this happening. Havertz and Martinelli getting injured as well. But it is a lesson. I mean, they're lucky that they're 10 points clear in second place, because if they weren't, and they were where Forest are now, I'd be worried. I'd be worried. If you took them 6 points off Arsenal and put them where Forest are, I'd be saying they were in a major fight to get in the top 4.
But as things stand, they are potentially tomorrow going to be 11 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool travelling. Yeah, I mean, if you weren't with us earlier,
that bus is expensive now. Again,
Merce was about to check out open top bus prices for Liverpool, because he thinks it is absolutely all over. Time will tell, but it's looking pretty grim for Arsenal right now, that is for sure. Excellent win for West Ham, that. And, of course, it gives Graham Potter only his second win since he took over at the Hammers. For Jarrod Bowen, well, he gets the winner, but also a bit of a landmark for him as well in terms of his Hammers career, bringing up his 50th Premier League goal as well. We can hear from him now.
Result today, what was key to the victory for you?
Just everyone working so hard. I think without the ball coming here, it's going to be difficult. There are top sides, and we knew everyone, not just the 11, the players coming off the bench as well, was all going to have to dig in, defend really well, be really disciplined, and work for one another. It's a war out there, and I think every person to a man done that today, and that's why we've got the result.
Yeah, impressive defensive discipline as well today. Little bit of a different shape, it looked like it. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, no, I think we reflected on our game against Brentford last week, where we was really below the levels that we've set of ourselves, and I think it was just going back to what it means to play in the Premier League. It's the hardest league, and when you come in here today, everyone wrote us off, but we in there never wrote ourselves off. We always know that we can win any football game, and we knew coming here today we had that mentality that if we'd done the right things without the ball, we'd get our chances going forward, and that shows that.
You took the chance that you had, and that was the match-winning goal. It was also your 50th Premier League goal. Can you tell me a little bit more about it, and how much does it mean to you to reach that milestone?
Yeah, no, I just remember winning the ball, on our edge of the box, and Aaron made a really good run that I played him and just followed the run, and it was a beautiful ball by Az, and I couldn't really miss. But I knew I was 1 off 50. But always you try and just take the chances when they come. It's obviously a big moment for me today, scoring the goal, winning the game, and for me and for everyone today to come here and win the game is a massive result for us.
Welcome back. Goals in all 5 games and all 5 away teams in front. Righty doesn't really want to hear that, because one of those is West Ham at Arsenal with that goal from Jarrod Bowen just before half-time, which was a frustrating one for Arsenal.
Yeah, it was, especially with the amount of pressure we're trying to put on their goal. But you can see this is exactly what West Ham are about. They haven't got a real focal point, but what they have got at the moment for some is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who, for me, should have been engaged a lot quicker by Calafiori. He's got a lot of time out there. I think he should be getting more closer to him. He doesn't get into him, and see Jarrod Bowen just going in off of the back of Declan Rice there. And it's their first attack. And
only effort on goal.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows how easy in this league, especially if you don't look at those fine margins, like you follow him all the way in, and cross comes in and they score. So we've got a lot of work to do because I don't know who's going to score the goals for us at the minute.
Is Declan Rice fearing an own goal there, Michael?
I think so. I think he can get there. But the problem is he'll be heading towards his goal, so he's either got to head it over or he scores an own goal. So I think that's what he was fearing. But Jarrod Bowen there starts the move on the edge of his own box and finishes it. What a player.
So Arsenal, without a striker, need 2 goals without reply.
They do, and it's just they've had most of the possession. They've been in the penalty area. They've gotten crosses in. It's a bit jumbled. West Ham are going to defend with all the numbers. They almost have to be a bit more patient, not refuse crosses, keep putting it in the box, because that's ultimately where it will come from.
OK, let's begin our roundup of the other games now. As we keep saying, Righty, it's a weekly event. We were saying it when we were there, when they were playing Manchester City. Anything but a win. And you think they might be struggling in this title race.
Yeah, that's the scenario they find themselves in. And I've got to say, everybody knows what the club means to me, but for them to be still amongst it at this stage of the season, and with the way it started, the way it's gone with the injuries, something that the manager he's not really used it. What he's done is continually spoken about how much they're putting in, their mentality, how hard it is for them at the moment, and we can see that with the injuries, but they're still there, Steve. The manager, I think, has coached them to as far as he can in respect of getting them to challenge where they're challenging. I think that the owners have let him down in the summer and this January, because I'm not sure what more he can do. He's doing everything he can to keep this team amongst it. And again, you say today is a must. It is a must-win game, because you have to look at it. And if Arsenal are not amongst it, Liverpool run away with this. And you can look at Liverpool and you can feel like they're limping in certain instances with the way that and you just need someone to keep chasing them. So as if they do drop the ball, you're ready to catch it. And that's what Arsenal are doing at the moment, under duress.
We watched Mikel Merino do it in an unorthodox fashion last weekend at Leicester. In the build-up to this game, Mikel Arteta specifically asked and been talking about Raheem Sterling and whether he's low on confidence. And he said, look, we've been building his confidence. He has to perform. We badly need him now, Mikel Arteta says.
When you look at the signing, and when it came, I was very excited about it. I thought that it's a great opportunity for him coming from Chelsea, a team that it wasn't going well for. People were talking about him like he's lost half a yard. Whatever it is, it didn't work out from at Chelsea. And for him to get Arsenal under a manager that he knew very well from City and the way he was playing at City, Mikel had a lot to do with it. So you're thinking that at this stage of his career, this is the perfect move. Arsenal in the title chase. He can prove people wrong, doubters wrong. Not saying that he has to, but this is a great club for him to come in and as a squad player maybe, and make a difference in these moments. Now, this season and what's happened to Arsenal up to this point, it's almost like a film script for him to come in now and show that he's rising from the ashes, because the injuries, what we need, the experience, everything that we need from someone like Raheem now, if it doesn't happen now, you have to think, well, it just didn't work out. Because if I'm Raheem, listening to my manager talking about me like that, saying, listen, we need him now, they built him up. They've got him into a position and mentally he's got, I've got to go and do it now. I would just go out now, honestly, and I'd run through a brick wall just to try and show this manager who's got a lot of faith in me up to this point that I can do it for him.
Do you see that happening to Raheem Sterling and Arsenal, Tim?
Well, I think that when we look at Raheem Sterling now, he is a squad player. I think he's a player who isn't the type that can lead the line. At one time he was. And I think it's difficult for him. I really do. I think it's difficult for him to have the responsibility to do that. I know he's full of experience, but I'm not sure that's who he is anymore. I mean, thankfully for Arsenal, Mikel Merino comes in last week and does the business. So there might be another tweak along that front line, but I don't know if Raheem Sterling can do that. That doesn't mean he can't provide. I mean, I think if Arsenal are going to go ahead and push Liverpool this year as they are, it's going to be everyone's got to chip in that front line. It can't be just that one person.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are some Liverpool supporters getting a little nervous with this draw and that draw, and Arsenal keep winning. But when we discuss the firepower Arsenal at the moment have available, can they get really close to Liverpool, do you think?
I think they can, yeah. I mean, it's, you need firepower across a season, but do you need, all your best strikers available to beat West Ham at home? Possibly not. If they play well, then
what about the running? What about,
anyway.
we're talking the last 12, 13 games here.
Absolutely. And they might get one or two players back. The problem is a lot of their top players are, long-termers, but Saka might be back for the running. There's, one or two other players. You don't necessarily, I mean, Manchester City won the league without playing a striker for one season. So I still think they can do it. I still think they can put the pressure on in a one-off game. When they go to Anfield, let's say, then, yeah, you want your best players fit. But
that's not too much, remember.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they've just played Manchester City. Who else is there that can compete with Arsenal, really? Liverpool, that's about it. So, of course, they can do it.
We might have another movie in May, right? You never know. At Anfield.
I know. This is the by any means necessary situation Arsenal are now, because you're talking about the defence, solid. Solid defence. They're building it on defence now. You can see that with him, and he's used Havertz as a number 9 to help score the goals. Obviously missing Saka. Now, if it's Marino, then Marino will come in and play, and he will hopefully get the goals. Is it going to come from set pieces? He's doing anything to get this win. I would love us to go back to 1-0 to the Arsenal for the next 10 games, if that means that we're going to hang in there and win these games. Because again, today's game is one we have to win.